Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair. I am Mr. Modern Toy Fair and I'm here to tell you I'm not having fun anymore. I've been thinking about this video for some time now and trying to figure out how I want to do it because there's a lot to explain and I know I can get very long-winded and I don't want this to be like 40 minutes like the podcast would be. So I guess I just want to start with an explanation of what I mean why this isn't fun anymore. When I started this channel, when I started making videos and doing podcasts in general years ago, it was mostly for fun. With the channel, it was an opportunity that presented itself, and now I'm kind of reevaluating things in my life. So I recently got a new job in graphic design, which, for those of you who know, I live in Ohio. There's not a lot of that kind of opportunity around here. So I never would have imagined in 1,000 years living here that I'd find a job I enjoy. A job that I could see myself working at for the next couple decades and until, I hit them sunset years and I'm ready to retire and not be miserable every day. I've worked a lot of retail and it's always, I don't want to die doing this job because you'll never be able to retire at a retail job. So it's made me reevaluate a lot of things because the channel back in 2020, when the pandemic hit, was an opportunity for me to take the skills that I have and try to make that job I've always wanted. Because that's how the internet's become. You can take and create your own opportunities. It's not easy by any means, but if you're willing to put the work in, you can make things happen. And sometimes, you blow up and it happens fast, sometimes not so fast. We've witnessed that roller coaster ourselves here on the channel. And I feel like that is partially what made this not fun anymore and has started to also make the hobby not fun for me. I have been so focused these past couple years on forming my collecting habits to the channel because in order for the channel to grow and be successful, I had to abide and feed the algorithm. If you miss a day and you don't have a video going out on this consistent schedule, the algorithm is not a kind mistress by any means. So and she will punish you anyway she seems fit. So if you aren't constantly feeding that beast, it negatively affects the channel. So for a long while here, I've been feeding into my own impulse habits of like, oh, that's cool, I'll buy it. Oh, that's cool, I'll buy it. And justifying it as, oh, that's cool, I need it for the channel to do a review or to do a let's pose or what have you, or to do a short, because those for a while were a direction that we had to test to move forward and to grow. And it's made this so I'm not enjoying it anymore. Because at least when we started, when it was an opportunity, and I was still learning, I was still having fun. I didn't look at the reviews as a chore, but they have become that. And I don't feel like that is a healthy way to be a part of this hobby and to be in this space, because I've seen, especially now more than ever, more and more people on YouTube get burned out and just up and quit because they aren't doing what they enjoy. They're doing what the algorithm wants them to do. So there's going to be a lot of changes coming for the channel. It's not going anywhere. I still love our community, our channel, what we do. We're going to make some changes. I'm not going to be focused on the algorithm anymore. I mean, focused on what I think sounds like a fun idea and what we enjoy as a team here with me, Jarmar, Nate, and Corey. So we'll still be doing the live stream. We'll still be doing the podcast. We are considering making the podcast into a live stream as well. So Wednesdays we'd go live at 9 for 45 minutes or so and do the podcast. We'll take like a 15-minute intermission and come back at 10 to do OnlyFigs. If that's something that you think you'd enjoy or prefer, let me know in the comments. Comments are another thing I want to talk about here in a moment as well. But the reviews are going to go away. I don't enjoy them. I enjoy taking the photos, but the entire process leading up to it, I don't enjoy anymore. And realistically, I don't have the energy and capacity to focus on, I got to find it first so that way I can get the review up. Because if you don't get the review up within the first couple days, it's useless, which is true. Like with the Street Fighter Ken. I love that figure, super excited for it. But by the time I found it, there was no point in doing a review because there have been so many out. So it took some of the fun out of it for me. And I don't want that. I don't want that for my hobby. And that doesn't mean we're not going to do other videos. I have a lot of things I want to do and want to try out. One I've been talking about for a very long time. I just have to get the setup and equipment to be able to do it. And as that is, I want to do action figure photography tutorials. I want to show people, granted, I'm not the best. There's so many people who are better than me, but I want to show people at least where they can start. I want to be that stepping stone to where you can start here and then maybe eventually you can get to some of those insane figure photographers that are out there. The ones who are in the Toytography magazine that my picture managed to get featured in because I won a contest in the Facebook group. So like, I want to kind of be that beginning stage. I want to like show people how to do lighting. I want to show people how to set up the scenes that I set up. Like that's the part of this I enjoy. Collecting's always been a creative outlet for me, and I want to focus on that. Another thing I want to do is, and this one actually came from my buddy Vincent over at Vasco Toys, who does my dioramas. He did a video comparing the original Super Saiyan Goku figure to the newest one, or the definitive one, as people are calling it. And I really liked that concept. At first, I liked it. At first, I thought it was cool just because it blew up for him. But then, like, as I kind of sat and thought about it more, I'm like, that could be fun. It'd be something that all four of us could do individually, not like as a podcast, but just in general. Like, we each like go and talk about a figure and then what is now the definitive version and show it off and compare it. And I think that could be a lot of fun. I may still do a Let's Pose here and there, but I can't do it like I did before where I'd try to hunt down things that other people wanted me to pose, just because then I get stuck with a bunch of stuff that I take a loss on because like it's not something I normally would collect. And it takes away from things that I do want to get for myself. So I'm sorry for anyone who does want me to post certain things. Sometimes this is not going to be in the cards. So as of right now, there's going to be a little bit of a break. We'll still do toy hunts occasionally because I do enjoy those. I'm not going to do them as rigorously as we did before. It may still be weekly when we come back, but it's not going to be to the point where I'm doing a 30-minute one every time. It may be just a quick 5-minute one of me going into one target. It'll just kind of depend what we can work out. I do also want to address, like I mentioned before, comments. So one big thing since the beginning is I always wanted to, I wanted to reply to you guys in the comments. And I realize like a lot of the big channels don't do it because it's hard to keep up with it. It's overwhelming. And that's kind of what's happened is as the fun started going away for me for the channel, it became harder for me to like want to find time. I still read all the comments, but to take the time to respond to every single one, I got a little bit behind and it just kind of became overwhelming because there were so many. but I do want to respond to them, because I enjoy the comments. I love hearing from you guys, whether it's something on the topic, if it's you guys, who've been with us for a while and are part of our community and have gotten to know us and want to know, be like, hey, did you guys see this or that? Like, I want to respond to you guys because I enjoy it. And with this break of like other content, I'm hoping that will give me some time to be able to go through and like respond to those, the backlog, because there's a lot, and I appreciate all of you guys. I always do feel bad because some of you really pour your hearts and souls into your comments and like just paragraphs, and I don't, just in general from a typing standpoint, I don't have it in me to do big responses. Like, you can ask any of my friends, my fiance, everybody. Like, I am very much like, I will respond to each point that you put in there that I can, but it's not going to be a very long drawn out response. But I want to make sure like that, like, I read the entire thing, and I like love it when you guys, come and chat with us. And I love it when you guys come to the live streams, like, and chat with us there. It's always a fun time. The live streams are probably the most fun I have on the channel, to be honest. So that's going to be the primary changes. Is we're going to focus more on what we want to do. The podcast will still be mildly topical. It may just become whatever is currently happening, instead of me trying to go through and figure out something that's going to be a hot topic for clicks, because it's just too much of a pain in the ass to do all that. And it's still like, sometimes the algorithm will take an episode to the moon and sometimes it won't. Our episode a couple weeks ago about, what was it? The Marvel Legends having a rough sales quarter and seemingly not being at retail as much. That one did like almost 2K in views, which is great for us. But then the following week we talked about the Super Dio, and it did, I think, maybe like 300-400. So it's just too inconsistent. Like, we aren't reaching as many people simply because there's this algorithm that decides, oh, well, someone didn't click on that video, so this next person probably won't like it either, rather than it just being like, oh, this person watched similar videos, here you go. And it gets tiring. So we're going to focus on just talking about what we want to talk about. If it's, it'll be a topic per episode, but it's not going to be me trying to figure out what the algorithm wants anymore. So I want to thank all of you so much for your support. We appreciate you. I love it when, you guys approach us at cons, or when you're in the comments, or you come chat during the live stream, or you find us on socials. I do apologize if you message us on Instagram. I rarely get any notifications unless like we're following each other. And I'm also like, I'm not like consistent. I don't keep up with the social media very well, I'll be honest with you. I'll doom scroll, but I've been terrible since day one at managing our social media. And I do appreciate all of you guys. But we're just gonna do what's fun for us, and that's where it comes with the big ask of what I want to ask you guys in return, is to just occasionally share us with a friend who also collects. Spread the good gospel of Modern Toy Fair, because I feel like that's gonna be the best way for us to grow, and it not be all about the likes and the subscribes. I'm more interested in the chats and the comments. So thank you again. It's probably gonna be a little bit a while before I do any other videos while I get everything set up, but we'll, like I said, still have the podcast, still have the live stream, still have toy hunts here and there. I think that's all I've got. So I'm not going to do the usual spiel. All I'm going to say is, hopefully I'll see you next time. I don't think that's not the phrasing. That doesn't work because I'm not going to be doing this next week. Nah, fuck it. Hopefully see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.